Dash, your Bucks got swept in the first series of the year, so no 162-0.
Nope, 159-3.
Garbage.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? It's proclaimed the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another great edition of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella. In studio today with two great co-hosts, Jay Dash and JK47. We're going to talk a little Bucko baseball week in review. Look ahead to next week. Am I getting that right, Dash?
Yeah, that's it.
Word.
Going to take a look at this Pittsburgh at Cincinnati matchup we had since, they played Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
And they lost.
Lost all three.
Ugh.
So
What'd
starting
J.A.
out
do, go 0 for 10?
No, actually, J.A. was looking like one of the better hitters to start the season.
Blasphemy.
But Monday, they lost 5-2. It was Liriano versus Cueto as the starting pitchers. All three games featured a rain delay. This one had a 35-minute rain delay in the top of the sixth inning.
3 rain delays in a row. That's unheard of. They need to get some parkas out there.
But Liriano pitched pretty well. He went 7 innings, let up 2 hits, had 2 earned runs, had 3 walks, 7 Ks. He let up a jack to Jay Bruce in the 4th inning. He also balked home a run. Billy Hamilton scored on a balk.
Very weird.
I still don't exactly understand all the rules of the balk. I know you basically make a move like you're trying to pitch and you don't. Is that the basic idea?
Sometimes, or a throw to first or something like that if you make a twitch.
So you're not allowed to try to fake anybody out.
No, you can't do that.
It's not wiffle ball.
Well, you could also balk, too, whenever you're coming to the stretch. You know, if you don't pause before you deliver, they'll call you for a balk for that also.
Too much.
But yeah, all in all, that was just the 2 runs that Liriano let up. He only let up 2 hits, so he pitched great.
Cueto just pitched a little better, huh?
Cueto pitched even better, yeah. He K'd 10 batters, let up 4 hits, just 1 walk, no earned runs, through 7 innings.
That's beast mode.
It is beast mode.
Billy Hamilton, how many bases did he steal? 15?
In this game, he had 1 stolen base.
Nice.
But over the series, he ended up with 6 stolen bases.
Ridiculous.
Easy was saying this guy, he's not impressed by him. Are you kidding me? This guy is all over the place.
If he can get an even, 250 to 275 average, he's going to be beast.
But when Cueto came out of the game, the Pirates were losing 2-0 because Cueto pitched perfectly pretty much. And then Koch hit a 2-run jack in the 8th inning off of Kevin Gregg to tie it at 2-2.
As I was in my car listening to the game on the radio whenever that happened, I actually started screaming.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was looking good right there, but...
Yeah, but not much longer. Frazier hit that 3-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning with Hamilton and Votto on base. Now, Watson was pitching.
I was just going to say, who was pitching then?
Hey, Watson took a little bit of a beating in this outing.
Bullpen's garbage this year.
Listen, Watson didn't let up his 4th run until June last season. So if he lets up 1 more run before June, he's already past his last season's mark. But you know what? He came back later in the series, and he pitched well. It was just a one-time thing for him, I think. Well, anything can happen, but he's still going to be a good pitcher for him.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just one bad outing. I mean, he's been pretty consistent, throughout his entire career. So, I mean, I expect to see a return to form for Tony Watson pretty soon. I mean, he's just too good.
Yeah, he's a beast. But Chapman, he's even a bigger beast. He got the save. He K'd 2. Watson took the loss, like we said, and Jumbo Diaz, their 8th inning guy, got the win. But offensively for the Pirates, Harrison went 2 for 4 with a double and a run. Kutch went 2 for 4 with a jack, 2 RBIs and a run. And Cervelli went 1 for 3 with a walk. For Cincinnati, Hamilton went 1 for 4, had 2 runs in the stolen base, we said. Votto went 2 for 4 with a run. Frazier went 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. And Jay Bruce went 1 for 2 with the jack, an RBI, a run, and a walk.
All 5 of Cincinnati's runs coming from the long ball.
Besides the balk.
Yeah.
So they had the day off Tuesday. Wednesday, they also lost 5-4, close game. Cole versus Leak. It had a 2-hour and 35-minute rain delay before the game, and then it went into extra innings. It lasted 11 innings.
Sounds like excruciating day at the ballpark.
It was excruciating just waiting for the game to start. I'm ready for Bucko baseball, and all 3 of these games had rain delays. Like I said, it's Bull crap.
Adverse weather conditions.
I hate it.
It's brutal.
But Cole, he wasn't completely on top of his game. He still pitched well enough to keep him in the game. But really, he only went 5 innings. He let up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a jack. Frazier had the home run. It was with no one on in the first inning. And then Kozar doubled and scored on a wild pitch in the 3rd inning. And Brandon Phillips had an RBI single in the 4th, and that was pretty much it off of Cole.
He needs to step up this year if the Pirates really want to be division contenders. I'm not saying they can't make the playoffs or whatever, but if they really want to be the number 1 team in this division, they need him to be a number 1 pitcher. It would honestly
or at least
be
the number
best,
2. Liriano looked pretty damn good.
The
but
best
yeah, Cole
case scenario for the Buccos as far as their 1, 2, 3 would be if Cole really stepped up and not, took it over because Liriano can't do it, but took over the number 1 spot because he becomes that dominant pitcher that he's expected to be. Then you have Liriano at 2, who could be a 1, so you have 2 1s, and then A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, it'd be nice, and plus, Tyon and Glasnow will be here eventually, too, so this rotation could look good, but Cole got to step it up a little bit. You're right.
He really needs to. He does. I mean, he's still young. He probably has, 1 full season under his belt between injuries and missed time?
I mean, he pitched well last season, but you still want to see more out of him. You want to see Matt Harvey type stuff and Jose
they
Fernandez.
were calling him the ace of the staff, or could have, possible ace, so he needs to step up and do that.
Well, Cole always gets better as the year goes on.
Yeah, he does. He just got to stay healthy this season. Like I was saying in other segments, he hasn't had health problems in the past, but you don't want to see that start to creep up now.
The scary part last year about the injury was it was like a dead arm type syndrome from such a young player. You hate to see something like that.
Yeah, dead arm happens to a lot of players, though, and it's just something that you need some time off. And it's happened to pitchers already this season in spring training. They got dead arms, and you just have to give them a week or 2 off. But I think he had more problems with that. Didn't he have something wrong with his back or his side, too?
His trap, maybe? I can't remember for sure. He did have issues, though.
But Mike Leake, he went 5 2/3 innings. He let up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, had 6 walks and 6 Ks. So he walked a ton of people. He actually pitches well versus the Pirates. He has in the past. So this was actually a down game for him against the Pirates. But he's not the greatest pitcher in the world. Alvarez and Cervelli each had RBI doubles off of him, and Walker had a sac fly.
Polanco got a stolen base, right?
Yes, Polanco had a stolen base.
We got to see him get moving on the base pass. Harrison runs the base as well, and I'm not saying Kutch doesn't, but he's not a guy who's going to go out and steal you 30 bases a year. It'd be nice to see somebody in that Pirate lineup really press the issue on the base pass.
I actually think, Marte is the one that's going to have the most stolen bases. Then I'd say Polanco, and then Kutch, and then Harrison.
Harrison just runs like a weirdo. What about Pedro? Over under 3 steals this year?
Under? I don't know. Who knows? Listen, Hart pinch hit for Pedro in the 7th inning and had an RBI single, scoring McCutchen to break a 3-3 tie.
Pinch hitting for Pedro. Shame.
Please believe that happened in the first 2 games, but in the 3rd game they decided not to do that and let Pedro hit against Aroldis Chapman.
And what did he do? Strike out?
I believe he did strike out, yeah.
Brutal. That Chapman, though, you can't hate on somebody for striking out
lefty on
against
lefty,
him.
too. I understand why they pinch hit for him in the first 2 games, actually. And it paid off with Hart driving in this single to break the tie. But Votto had an RBI single off Antonio Bastardo, scoring Hamilton in the bottom of the 7th. The run was actually charged to Jared Hughes, so that made it 4-4, tied the game back up. It went into extra innings, like I said earlier. 11th inning, Radames leads. He was the last pitcher left for Pittsburgh. He hit Zach Cozart in the back, and he walked Billy Hamilton. And then Votto singled home the winning run.
Votto's beast, too. Trade Pedro for Votto, right?
Votto does look good to start the season. He had a down year last year. He only hit something like .255. He still had a huge on-base percentage, but, again, he looks good to start the season.
So game 2, lost 2 for our Buccos.
Yeah, Pedro had an error in this game on a ground ball in the 2nd inning. He didn't look good on it. He got to improve there. But Cole got bird to ground into a double play afterwards, so it didn't really hurt him. Lees took the loss in this game, like I said, and then J.J. Hoover got the win for Cincinnati.
Random hitting from the Pirates, and Josh Harrison 1 for 5 with a walk or the run scored. Gregory Polanco 1 for 5, walk and a stolen base. Pedro Alvarez doubled and had an RBI, went 1 for 3. Cervelli was 1 for 4 with an RBI, and Jordy Mercer was 1 for 3 with 2 walks.
Yeah, that was the best from the Pirates offense that day. But Cincinnati, their top of the lineup hitters blew up. Hamilton went 3 for 5 with a run, a walk, and 3 stolen bases. Votto went 2 for 6 with 2 RBIs and a stolen base. Frazier went 2 for 5 with the home run, an RBI, and 2 runs. And Cozart went 1 for 3 with a double, 2 runs, and a walk.
Is Cervelli slow off the draw, or is Hamilton just that fast?
Oh, Hamilton's just that fast.
He is quick. He's like a cheetah.
He was still in second, third. He was all over the place, man. He was playing all over the field on defense, too. He made some nice catches.
In my my highlight years of my baseball career, Little League, I would steal home consistently, and the catchers were such garbage they could never catch the ball when because the pitcher would get real nervous, throw a bad throw home, the catcher would miss it, you'd get in, you looked beast, but really it was just because the other.
It happens in the majors, and I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Hamilton has 1 or 2 before he retires.
Well, Willie Mays Hayes jumped over Jack Parkman to steal home.
Yeah.
Am I correct there? Don't stand on the tracks when the train's coming through, butthead.
All right, so the Pirates are 0-2, and Cincy is 2-0 at that point.
Leading the division. We're in last place, huh?
Yep, going into Thursday, and they swept the series.
Just like I predicted.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you'll predict that they'll get swept this weekend, too.
No, they're going to win 1 of 3.
All right. But yeah, they lost 3-2. It was Burnett versus Anthony DeSclafani.
Burnett pitched all right.
Yeah, look, an hour and 14-minute rain delay in the top of the 4th inning, though. I hate it, man.
You love rain delays.
It's the worst, dude.
That's when you just crack open a 6-pack and see if you can drink it before it ends.
Well, a 6-pack in an hour and 14 minutes, that's easy.
Well, then you shouldn't have a hard time. Burnett, what?
But I'm trying to remember the rest of the game when it comes back on.
Oh, I guess so. Burnett gave up, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, 7 Ks. Only 1 walk. That's nice to see. You said he gave up a lot of walks last year.
That's the biggest thing I take from it is he had control all game. He looked very good, and I'd like to see him go more than 5.1 innings. But like I said, there was an hour and 14-minute rain delay.
Right.
So as soon as he let up the home run, I think it was a 2-run home run, they immediately took him out.
Baseball's weird like that. Dudes can't pitch after rain delays anymore.
Well, he did pitch after the rain delay. The game was tied 0-0 before the rain delay. The rain delay came in the top of the 4th inning, and then both pitchers came back out and were pitching well for a while, but they had short leashes after the delay. DeSclafani, he pitched well too. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, 6 Ks, and a jack. Both pitchers pitched well. In fact, outside of maybe Mike Leake, he wasn't that great in Game 2. All these pitchers pitched well enough to win games. Even Leake. 3 runs in 5.2 innings isn't terrible. But Polanco beat out an infield single to the shortstop with the bases loaded to score the game's first run in the 5th inning. And then Pedro homered off of DeSclafani with no one on base in the 6th inning. So that made it 2-0. But then Votto homered in the bottom of the 6th with Billy Hamilton on base again to tie the game 2-2.
47, do you think you could throw out Billy Hamilton if he was trying to steal and you were catching?
As a pitcher, if he was pitching, if
No.
47 was pitching and Hamilton just took off to second while he had the ball, I bet you he could come close to throwing him out at second.
I think he'd just throw the ball right at him and blast him in the face
Just
with
go
it and then just
tackle him.
laugh at him.
Just head straight to second and
I guess
tackle
you could
him.
do that, just hit him with every. Yeah, you could do that maybe.
Chuck the ball at him. Oh, I thought this was wiffle ball.
One thing Hurdle did in this series is when the game was tied late, instead of pitching Melanson when it was tied, he'd go to another reliever. Like in this game, in the bottom of the 9th, he pitched Rob Scahill with a 2-2 tie when Melanson was still available. Now, some managers like to do that while others will bring out their closer to pitch like Cincinnati did, and it paid off for Cincinnati in this series. Really, the thing I take away from this whole series is our bullpen needs to step it up. Everything else looked okay. Yeah.
Shark Tank is the aquarium right now.
Yeah, pretty much. In the 9th here, Scahill was pitching. Frazier doubled. Mesoraco moved him to third on a ground out. Then they intentionally walked Jay Bruce. There was guys on first and third at that point, and then Bird hit a line drive to Polanco, and he just pretty much dropped the ball. I mean, it wasn't an easy play, but it was definitely a play anybody...
Top prospects are supposed to
Not
make.
even top prospects. Anybody in the major leagues should make. At least make the catch. Now, what he was trying to do is, Frazier was on third, so he thought he was going to tag up. So he was running hard in, and he was ready to gun home, and he could have gunned him at home for sure. There was no way Frazier was going to make it home. I could actually seen Frazier not even going home because it was like Polanco was running hard and he was close to home already.
Got to catch it before you can throw it.
So that was the game. Scahill took the loss. Chapman got the win again. Like I said, they pitched Chapman in a 2-2 tie. We decide not to pitch Melanson and pitch another reliever, and it cost us.
Offensively, like we said, not much in this one. Top Pirate hitters, Pedro Alvarez, 2 for 4 with a home run and an RBI, scored 2 runs. Polanco, 2 for 4, RBI and a stolen base. Cincinnati, on the other hand, Billy Hamilton, over 3, run with a walk. He stole 2 bases. Joey Votto, of course, the home run and the 2 RBIs to tie the game. And Todd Frazier went 1 for 4 with a double, and he also scored a run.
Yeah.
Well, Hamilton definitely makes the most of his on-base opportunities. Gets walked 1 time. He must have stole 2 bases and scored a run because that was the only time he was on base, correct?
No, one time he actually grounded out. Somebody else got out at second base. It was a force out at second, and he made it on first, but that doesn't count as a hit.
Oh, that's a fielder's choice, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I know that. They should put that in there. It's a little deceiving. It looks like he got walked, stole 2 bases, and then scored.
Yeah.
A lot of the times it actually won't show that in the stats either.
Well, stats are
No.
stupid.
All right, so overall, Pittsburgh's starting pitching pitched great. All 3 of them. I mean,
They were okay.
no, Burnett looked very good.
Burnett and Liriano were awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Liriano pitched exactly like we hoped. Cole didn't pitch as good as we want, but he pitched well enough to keep you in the game, and that's really what you need.
So I give him a solid, B+ for the series.
That's what I'd give him too.
I'll give him a B.
Now, Pedro and Harrison look great at the plate. Harrison had 2 big games to start the season. I think he had an 0-for in Game 3. Not a big deal, but he looked good on the bases. He looks good defensively still. Everything looks good with Harrison. And Pedro, he's been our best hitter. He's hitting 300 right now. He had the jack. He had a double. He just looks better this season right now. He's still got to work on his defense, though, as we've seen with that error he made.
That'll come with time.
Polanco, he made the brutal mistake, lost the game pretty much for him in Game 3.
El Giraffe blew it.
But other than that, he looks good, too. He's hitting the ball hard. He showed off his speed defensively and on the base pass. He had 2 stolen bases in this series. So I look for good things from him, too. He's young. He got to work on the mistakes he's going to make on the field mostly. The bullpen, they need to get better. Took all 3 losses.
It's because they're garbage.
Well, they did take a lead after their at bat in the 6th inning, so, I mean...
Yeah, all 3 of these games were tied at one point.
You want to be a championship caliber baseball team, you need a bullpen.
Yeah, it's early, though. They're still going to... their bullpen's going to be a positive for them by season's end, I still believe, because Melanson and Watson are 2 of the best in the league at the back end of a bullpen. I just think they need to bring Holtzcomb up. I'm not sold on this Caminero and Scahill. I want to see their best pitchers in the bullpen. I understand you don't want to cut someone, but I also don't want to lose games late. That's pretty much it.
None of these stats are really relevant right now after 3 games out of
you're right.
162. I mean, it's a window into what these players could possibly be doing and staying healthy, but, until mid-season, a lot of stats are...
Well, a lot of people say, you know what, spring training doesn't matter. Look at Marte. He had a hot spring, and he started out slow. I think he has 1 hit in this series. And you really can't look at the spring to see what happens in the regular season, but you also can't look at the first series of the season and decide anything either.
Right.
Cervelli, he looks great both offensively and defensively. The biggest thing with him, he needs to stay healthy. I'm very excited about this guy, though. If he can stay healthy, I think a lot of Pittsburgh Pirate fans are going to eat their words about how they hated this move.
They need to give the catchers a stool back there so they can just sit
Yeah,
on it and their
it'd be
knees
nice.
last longer, and you could have good catchers for a long
Nobody
period
would
of
get
time.
thrown out, though, because there's no way you're getting up off of a stool to throw Billy Hamilton out for sure.
Dude, I'd just sit on the stool, dude. I'd be chucking people out from on my
Yeah.
stool.
Hart, he looked good. He went 1-for-1 in this series, came up with the big hit to break a tie. That's it. Tony Sanchez, he had a huge spring. He looked like garbage.
He is garbage. That dude's just garbage all around. He's a garbage person. He's double fisting beers last year whenever we made the playoffs when he didn't even do anything. You know, like jumping in front of the camera. F him, dude.
Oh, he did
He got
something.
kicked out
He
of
came
winter
up with a
ball
few
because he
big
was
hits for him
garbage,
last
dude.
year.
Just later.
He
Get
can
rid
come
of him.
up with a big hit now and
Get
again.
rid of him.
But yeah,
Go send him to live with Mark Sanchez. They can wear
Wonder who
headbands
passed
together and
up
be
in the
losers.
draft to draft him that year.
for Cincinnati, Cueto, he looks as good as he did last year. I was saying he's gonna not be quite as good as he was last year, and that still may happen. But so far, so good for him.
10Ks looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Joey Votto looks good early.
Joey Votto looks real good, and I'm excited about it because he's on my fantasy team. Hamilton's on my fantasy team too. He showed great defense, like we said, 6 stolen bases, causing havoc.
Todd Frazier had a nice series, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs.
Yeah, looks like he's going to take another step forward too. And I hate Brandon Phillips. Anybody else with me?
I love him.
Garbage.
You
Dude's
love him.
awesome. But I like everybody you hate just to spite you.
Yeah, I know.
It's fun.
That's why I don't care what you say.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up the series. What is ahead for the Pittsburgh Pirates? Well,
More losses.
today, the day of our recording, they are starting a series at Milwaukee. It's going to be Locke versus Fires tonight. And then Saturday, they have Worley versus Jimmy Nelson. And Sunday, it'll be Liriano versus Cal Loesch, who is 0-1 to start the season. He got rocked his first time out.
Buccos always have a hard time up in Milwaukee. Not so much last year, but previous years, they just can't seem to get it going up there.
Well, I tell you what, this first game tonight, I'm not liking the pitching matchup. I think Fires is Milwaukee's best pitcher. I think the Pirates might start out 0-4, but I expect the Pirates to come back and win Saturday and Sunday.
Locke's terrible. Do you even have him in the rotation?
I'm not going to go that far. He's worth a number 5, not a number 4. But you got to remember, Morton's out, so Locke should be the number 5, and he's worth a major league number 5 pitcher. And then starting Monday, they finally come home. They play Detroit. The first game of that series is going to be Cole versus Sanchez. As of right now, things change. You never know. Sanchez is 1-0. He pitched very well. I'm talking about Anibal Sanchez for Detroit. Tuesday, it'll be A.J. Burnett versus Shane Green. Shane Green pitched very well, too. He dominated. I think it was actually Thursday. He pitched, and he looked very good. He's coming over from the Yankees. And then Wednesday, you got Locke pitching again versus Alfredo Simon for the Detroit.
Since when do they start playing interleague games so early in the year?
Yeah, Boston opened the season with an interleague series.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That's odd.
After that, they're off Thursday, and then they'll start a home series with Milwaukee next Friday. But that's it. So we need the Pirates to start winning here. It's nothing to panic over. If they're 5-20, 25 games in, maybe you start to panic a little bit. Besides that,
I'll be laughing.
we seen it last year. You were hating on me earlier in the season when they were playing terrible.
Because they were
telling
terrible.
me, I told you so. But
did
I
tell you
told
so.
you, man, it's a long season. Things happen.
It's also worth noting that we face Milwaukee, 6 times in the next 12 games, and they won 12-19 against us last year.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to step it up. You know what, though? Milwaukee, Braun's actually not healthy right now. I don't like Milwaukee at all, so the Pirates need to win at least two of 3 of this first series, and then when they're at home, at least 2 of 3. Try to sweep at home.
Pay attention to that Monday Detroit game. Garrett Cole versus Anibal Sanchez.
Yeah, that's 2 very good pitchers. And even the Tuesday game, Burnett and Green. Those are 2 good matchups on both sides. And then Wednesday, Locke and Simon, we'll see what happens there. I'm not sold on Simon either.
Well, the Pirates should be familiar with him.
Yeah.
Simon pitching last year for the Reds.
Correct.
We'll have to see what happens. It's going to be an interesting week.
So, real quick, who is your player of the week for the Pirates?
My player of the week,
Is it one of those pitchers? Obviously not Cole. I wouldn't say Burnett either. If you had to pick a pitcher, I'd say Liriano over anyone. Or would you take one of these hitters, especially Pedro Alvarez, who looked good all series?
I was going to say I was going to go with a dual-sided. You know, my pitching MVP is going to be Francisco Liriano. You know, he definitely looked good in the season opener.
Definitely.
It's a shame his effort got wasted. You know, and batting-wise, as you just said, J-Dash, I got to go with Pedro Alvarez.
Yeah, let's hope he keeps it up. Pirates offense is going to be hard to stop if he turns in the hitter he was 2 years ago, or even better possibly.
Well, that's just it. You know, you get Marte going, you get Polanco going, Pedro going, and Kutch.
Everybody.
Once everybody starts hammering the
Everybody
ball.
can hit.
I mean, but until they actually do, it's speculation.
You're right. But that's it. You want to wrap this up, Jim?
I think you just wrapped it up. I want to thank you guys for coming in studio. I want to thank you fans for listening. You could follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You could follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. We are officially over 100 subscribers. I want to say thank you to all 105 subscribers we've had so far. Been doing this close to a year now. I love every minute of it.